Hello everybody and welcome back to Vintage Story. We're here in our house and last episode we put some lights in, so we finally have this all nice and lit up. I have a few things that I want to tackle. Is it raining out? Ooh, or snowing. No, it's rain, it looks like. But we are on the cusp of when we should be expecting snow. It's really any time. In fact, yesterday morning it had snowed all the way out to here. The temperature just didn't sustain it long enough. It got too hot during the day, and so the snow melted. But we did have snow out over here. Anyway, like I was saying, there are a few pieces of, oh, what is the word? Just a few things I'd like to take care of today as we're starting off, and one of them is I need to do some smelting because I am woefully low on ingots. I got the copper for a couple more lamps here, but I really am, for all intents and purposes, out of bronze, and my bronze tools are kind of hurting. I've really been beating them up. The shovel and this axe are nearly beat up, and I don't really have replacements for them, and I'm down to just a couple pickaxes. And going into, again, things to look at for today, I think one of the things I'd like to look at getting... Oh, we have a baby! Oh, we have a baby! Oh, awesome! We also only got the one. So, note to self, definitely want to get more sheep in here if possible, although I don't know if we really have any around us. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a process, especially if this ends up being a male. Anyway, things that I want to do today. Well, I'd like to get an idea of where our future farms may end up being. That is kind of a priority, but I think I'd also like to take the time to just path up this area all again. I don't know if we ever got path out to here. I don't believe we ever did. So getting pathing just out over into here, some path that goes around the house, and just preparing for our future builds. Oh, it's snowing now. I saw a few snow. Yeah, you can see it. It's snowing now. That's dropped to about 3 degrees Celsius. So I do want to do some of that. And the reason I want to work on pathing a little bit is I think one thing that we would benefit from is just lighting up our property a little bit. And actually, on the topic of lighting up our property, we should have some oil lamps somewhere, and I think the oil lamps would be great for the apiary. It just seems like a great place for them. They should be in this chest here, or this one, yeah. Just in the miscellaneous. I'm not sure what to do with your chest. So let's head over here and get some oil lamps put down. I think just one on each corner should be perfect, and we could even do one in the middle there if we really wanted. And just so this is lit up, and I think the reason we want things lit up is not just for drifters or anything like that, but also because we are really at the point now where it's going to get dark, and it's going to get dark early, and we want to be able to see where we're going and see what we're doing. So I think that's already a really nice addition, and I want to work on pathing so that we can figure out where we're going to end up putting some lanterns, because I do think we'll want to put lanterns on the path somewhere at some point. And like I said, I think we're going to be going back here is where I'd like to build some things, so we'll want to cut down some of these trees and so on. So anyway, that's enough yapping. What's really going to take some time is doing some of the smelting. I do want to point out a couple comments I received on some recent videos, just because I feel like they're good, useful, helpful tips. And you know what? As I'm talking about those tips, let's see, is our charcoal pit done firing? Yeah, it looks done firing. Just because I'm going to want charcoal. Oh yeah, there we go. Plenty of charcoal down here. So I'm going to grab that charcoal, but before I do, I want to talk just for demonstration purposes. I got a comment that I felt was really helpful about the minimum ratio that you can use for making tin bronze, and it was 92 tin, 92 copper, I believe. So let's work this out. Is there a way? Yes. Control in the scroll wheel lets me more finely control that. To... Nope, not on the hotbar though. 92 to 8 gives you exactly 500 units of tin bronze, and so this is the minimum ratio that you can use this is the minimum amount you can use, making the maximum ratio, most efficient ratio for tin bronze. So I just wanted to share that because I felt like that was a really handy piece of advice. And then something that is going to be absolutely revolutionary for us is I did also receive another comment on cattails. And I've yet to test it, but they were reporting out that you can use a scythe to cut down cattails, and I'm very excited to try that out because the knife is just woefully inefficient. And it's one of those things where you're going to need a lot of cattails long term, so having a better way to do it just makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to go grab this charcoal, and I'm going to smelt up probably what we've put in the fire pit here. I do want to stick to ratio just because we are somewhat limited on supplies, and this just makes sense to me. We do only have 8 of these, but I was thinking we really should get some more of these. It makes sense to have 10. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to grab that charcoal, I'm going to do some smelting, and then we can look at laying out a path around our house. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we got about a stack and a half of charcoal from that, which is very nice. And I do want to run the charcoal pit again. I just don't necessarily think we have enough wood. When we go clear out the landscape back there, I think that'll give us an opportunity. Anyway, with our charcoal in hand, I am going to do some smelting over here. So I will see you guys when that is all done. So I've tested it on the 2 lanterns in there, but it looks like if I take a full block of glass here on this quartz glass lantern, I'm able to swap it out with regular glass panels. So I've already gone ahead and done that in here, and I just got my hands on this grass by taking down our bloomeries. Just doing little things around the house in between activities. There we go, and so this batch of bronze is done. Again, just a little small batch here, but we're at least moving in the right direction, staying up to ratio. Let's see what else. I wasted a piece of charcoal, you can see. I do think I'm down to only the 1 hammer. I may have another one actually in the dump chest, and you can see it's really thinking about snow. I want to hit X. There we go. I don't have another one in the dump chest. Okay. So I am down to the 1 hammer, it looks like, which is not ideal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run another batch of this bronze. You can see that I've got 4 molds right here, and then I'll grab a hammer mold. Let's do that. I'll grab a hammer mold here, and we'll run that as well. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll see you guys shortly. So this this bronze is all done here. Ooh, hardened, good. We'll grab that and make an extra shovel, we're going to want it. But as you may be able to hear, the drifters have come out and recognized that, we want to be outside, and so therefore they've come outside and said that we can't hang out with them, which is very rude. So let's grab our path blocks. We do have quite a bit of path blocks here. So let's grab all this. And I don't need you anymore. We'll get this put down. I'm going to assume these are also ready to go. Yes, so we'll just drop you over here. And we're not going to sleep. I think it's bright enough out where I can just run away, but I am going to run away. So let me despawn these guys and I will be right back. Okay, and as I move farther and farther away from the house, the sky darkens and darkens more as the snowstorm approaches our house. So it's a good thing that we are doing this now, otherwise it's looking more and more like we would lose our opportunity to. I do have some more path block here. I don't think I want to run the path so close to the house. And I think we might even have a chance to do little garden work here along the wings of the house. I think that would be nice. So let's bring the path out. The main path is going to be pretty wide, I think. This main path along here, and then we'll have a smaller path going around the house. Wow, we have some of these trees growing up already? Has it seriously been that long? How long do these guys have? Matures in about 5 days. Yeah, that sounds about right. But some are less than a day. Wow. Interesting. And then this one. This one even looks different than them. Well, those grew fast. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to here. We'll drop the path. Do you there. I'll do you there. We'll bring this to 3 wide. And I believe I have some extra brick in here. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this brick as well, because the path is smaller, I believe, so the brick is going to show under it. Yes. There we go. Now let's just get this all placed down and figure out where we want, how far away from the house we want the path to go. So I'm thinking we want it maybe here. Give ourselves 3 blocks worth of room. Just a 1 path here. And I could bring this in along the house, but I think we're going to leave it out because, like I said, I think we can do some little garden area or something along that. And then I want to move 1, 2, 3 this way. I want to leave that 3 block gap, so I'm going to have to move 4 and then move it in. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, that does make sense. And I'll run you right along here. Perfect. And in a perfect world, I'd have the apiary lined up, so this block here was this block in the house. And that's pure coincidence, but it's looking like this is all lined up. That's nice. That's very nice indeed. Oh no. It looked like it was lined up, but it's not. Moving the whole apiary. Oh, wait, I'm not lined up. Okay. Hey, that changes things. Let's get you all placed back in then. Poorly, but placed back in. Yeah, it's really starting to come down now, the snow. We gotta be careful, because we may start shivering here pretty soon. Yeah, I think we are lined up perfectly. I just had it. Oh yeah, there's the snow. Funny how it just spawns in like that. Okay. You go like this. Bring the path blocks right into the gate. And I think we can even have a path block in the corner here. That makes sense to me. So now let's run this path. And it's going to be so nice having like a more dedicated walkway, because we will walk faster going on this. And I think, again, I'll move it up along the corners here just so that we have some extra space when we're rounding this corner. The paths are going to get covered up with snow, but we'll at least have it for a little bit. And I think it'll even show up differently under the snow, so that's good. Okay. So now let's go this way, and I want to give myself that space of 3 again. So this puts me in part of the house, so I gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4. and then over. So now let's dig over. Okay, now I'm back on par with the house. And this did space correctly, so now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I should just be able to dig over until I line up over here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this should line me up perfectly. Whoa. We just got snow dumped right on us again. Okay, so that's where that goes. And then this can continue to be a 2-block path right here. I could do a 1-block path right here if I really wanted, just to keep everything consistent. And I think I may end up doing that. I want to come in and get some mud brick placed under here as well. Some dark mud brick. We should do that real quick when we have a second. Let's just go and get you dug out. Okay, great. So now that we have this all dug out, it's time to actually place the path, and I think I've got some mud brick right here that I can use for under there. So let's go this way. We gotta tear this down. It is ugly. We need a better dedicated clay firing area. And there is some firing I want to do. Nothing too crazy, but I think it would be nice to get some more ingot molds. So again, nothing on this scale. We needed this scale when we were doing all that lamellite. But now I'm just looking at doing some ingot molds. So I'm going to get this all placed down, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so this path is all done. As you can see, man, it's snowy around here now. This snow on November 3rd has just absolutely begun to dominate the landscape. And it is just marching its way right through here. So that's pretty cool. One thing I'd like to do is eat pie, apparently, because we are hungry. But also, I want to get our... I don't know. And this is a question that one of you may have an answer to. So if you do, I'd love to hear it. Okay, I was just going to ask how long before this is ready to mate again, but it looks like it will tell me when it's ready to mate. I'm not going to try to do any milking or anything like that. I don't think I could get enough milk off of this to do any cheese making or anything like that. Not that I have anything pickled to start the cheese making process anyway. But I think I'm going to have to wait a generation or two before we can start this. So we're still quite a ways away from easy access to dairy. Why don't we turn to our axe then and head this way and take a look at the area that I want to cut through, which I believe, if I look on the map, is this area right here. So I want to cut, well, that's going to have to get covered up. But outside this big hole being here, I want to cut diagonally right through this area. So why don't we start doing just a bit of chopping. I'm going to work on clearing this out, and I will see you guys when we're done. Okay, so as we approach sunset, I've cleared out this nice strip right here, which should be perfect for us to eventually make our way into this area. And I do think that is something that we may end up doing pretty soon here. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of terraforming over this hole. And I do have an idea for that. I don't quite remember the name of the block. But there is actually, you know what? If I look up just dirt, and it's actually soil is what it's under. But if I look up, let's see, medium fertility soil, cob is what I'm looking for. So you can see I can turn 4 dirt blocks along with grass into 10 cob. And this will grow over like normal grass would. It's just not fertile. Um, so I think cob would be great for us to try to fill in this hole a little bit. It'll allow us to take our dirt quite a lot farther, and we'll be able to do some good terraforming with it if we do our terraforming with cob. So in order to do that, though, I'm going to need some grass. I'm going to need a scythe, and I also think cob would be really good for out this way on this side of the property, where I have this big hole as well that needs to really get taken care of. Again, I think cob would be good for that. So in order to do that, we are going to need a scythe to start clearing out some of this grass. And in order to get the scythe, I'm going to have to do a little bit of smithing. But also, I think this is a good opportunity for us to come back in and get some more bronze going here. And then as we work on filling up this pile of bronze, we can do a little bit of smithing and work on our scythe. So I'm going to get started on that, and I will see you guys shortly. Alright, everybody, I did just want to bring you back real quick. I'm still in the process of working on some tin bronze ingots. I did one round of them, slept through the night, and now I'm working on the next round of it. Looks like I have to go grab my charcoal again. And as we head to the charcoal chest, that gives us a good opportunity to take a look at what we have left for copper. And it's not a lot. I have maybe one round left of tin bronze ingots I can make, and then I am out. So we're gonna have to go pretty desperately here. Okay, nope, did not want to do this. There we go. And get our hands on some more copper. Also, we are more definitively in a snowstorm, and you can see the snow is progressively spreading across the terrain. So we do know that, well, winter is here. And as you see, it is pretty cold. It's negative 3.4 or 3.1 now. You can see it up here. And it's fairly dark out with the storm as well. Let's go take a look at her, check out our bees over here. Yeah, they're still swarming. And they're still harvestable. I do want to make sure I harvest these. It is on the list, but I do want to replace the skeps if I do. So I'm holding off for that reason. But I do think we're going to have to make a copper run here pretty soon. One thing I did make is a scythe. And currently, we don't really have any cattails, but I actually do want to grab more cattails. And I'm thinking that's something that we can go and do, is run and grab some cattails. I believe we grabbed all the cattails from this area here, but as you can see on the map, it looks like there's some cattails at this lake and there's some cattails over here, so I want to run that way. But before we do, just with how cold it is, I feel like it's important that we get our winter clothes on. So let's go do that. And we'll put our other clothes just in this chest here. There you go. We are all dressed up in our winter gear. So I'm going to grab these cattails and expand our cattail farm a little bit. I think that's going to be my priority for right now. Although I suppose I should actually follow through on completing the bronze ingots here. So I'm going to follow through on this, work on getting some cattails, and I will see you guys shortly. But one thing we'll want to be careful about is just getting too cold because we're in the water. I do also want to see if the cattail... Oh, the scythe does work on the cattail. That's wonderful. So if I have multiple of them together like this, oh boy, is that going to make our life so much easier. That's going to make our life so much easier. So that's good to know. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit to dig out these roots, but we're just not producing anywhere near the amount of cattails that we need to be. for keeping up with our apiary, and there are also a few other miscellaneous uses for cattails as well. So again, I'm going to collect these. I want to grab maybe, in an ideal world, I'd like to grab another stack and a half or so. That way we have 3 full stacks when we do a harvest, but it's not necessarily going to be practical. It depends on how many cattails we get, but that's what I'm shooting for. So anyway, I'm going to collect these. It's probably going to take me most of the day, just how short the days are now, and we will check in a little bit. Okay, and just like that, we have acquired a stack and a half worth of cattails. So now we're going to head home and get these planted. With all these cattails as well, I think we're finally in a position where we can replace the skeps in our apiary. And I don't anticipate that we're going to be in a position to harvest the apiary again this season, just with the, what's the word for it? With the weather, the bees aren't going to be moving around. Also, do the trees still grow in the winter? Yeah, it says they're mature in less than a day. So their temperature, you're going to take a while for whatever reason. So the temperature doesn't seem to be bothering them, which is great. So anyways, I'm going to go get this stuff planted, and I'll see you guys when it's time to tend to the apiary. Okay, and you can see it is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is getting really dark out. So we are really approaching that time of the year where it is just dark 24/7. With that being said, I do still want to work on our apiary. I'm going to take one hive here and place it back down, and this is our base hive. And the others I'm going to destroy with... What do you destroy this with? My hand, I guess? I thought there was a tool that would make it faster, but I guess I'm not entirely sure. Wow, I cannot believe just how dark it is. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. I don't really know why you're doing that. There's a perfectly good dummy right there. Okay, we'll back up. We'll back out of here. Let them go after the dummy. I've just got one more scap I want to take care of. There we go. Can't believe how loud the bees are. Okay. So now let's make our new scaps. We'll start here. And get you placed all around. That's going to give us 8. I don't need 8. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And get them all placed down here. Oh. And now let's just get these placed while the swarms of angry bees rampage on right next to us. Okay. And that is the apiary all taken care of. Very nice. So I know we've done quite a lot of it today, but I do want to make some more tin bronze. And I don't want to just make tin bronze. I want to make some more tin bronze pickaxes, because we are going to have to go mining. And I think really what we're going to have to go mining for is copper. I would consider us to be low on cassiterite, but we're not low to the point where I'm very concerned. We still can get 10 plus rounds out of this cassiterite where I only have 1 round worth of copper left. So I am going to work the last of my copper here. And like I said, I am going to turn it into pickaxes. Probably another axe would do us good. No, I've got an axe here. How about shovel? Do I have 2 shovels? Yeah, I have 2 shovels. So maybe I might just make some ingots and some pickaxes. I think that might be good. So I'm going to get to that, and I'll check in with you guys shortly. Okay, so I think I've decided on what I'd like to do next. You can see down here I've got some pickaxe molds that are cooling down, some ingots as well. You can see our bronze pile here. And what you'll notice is that our bronze pile is kind of small, all things considered. I'm not sure we found any good sources of iron. Let me check hematite real quick. Just head up north here. Yeah, I've got no hematite whatsoever. Let's check magnetite. Well, I guess we have some decent high. Okay, we have iron if we go down here enough. Maybe we should look for iron. I was going to say let's go look for more copper. We're running out of bronze tools, and we're running out of the resources for bronze. However, you know, if we dig low enough, we may be able to find iron. That's not really what I'm looking to do right now. I think right now I'm looking to stay in the Bronze Age. There's some more work I'd like to do that doesn't necessarily require that we get our hands on iron. Primarily just some building work. And I think it's better that we focus on doing some building in the winter. There is a reason we're not doing some building right now. And it's really because we just lack the general resources. And so I'm hoping that we can make a mining trip here, get access to some more metal-based source materials, and then we can focus more on building. I do want to get my hands on some ladders. So let's grab these guys here. We'll grab my rope ladders as well, just to make sure that I have enough. And then the last thing I kind of want to wait on, because I do want to replant, is the tree farm. If I head over to the tree farm here, and I have checked it recently, you can see that most of our saplings here will mature in less than a day. So in an ideal world, I think I'd like to wait for these to grow, but on the other hand, I think it might be nice to leave on our expedition. I think what we can do, and expedition, I'm talking, it took a second to load. I want to head all the way up here. Up here. I want to head all the way up here and get our hands on some extra cassiterite as well. And also dig down here and just see kind of what more stones we may have. What stone types, I should say. What I do want to do in the meantime, just because I am planning on being gone for so long, is I do want to plant the rest of these oak seeds. And I'm thinking that, I know we're going to lose out on some daytime, but I'm thinking that I'm actually going to sleep so that we can get to dawn and we can see what we're doing. Get that out, hotbar. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. It's later than I'd like it to be, but with winter, that's just kind of how things roll. You can see the storm is in full effect right here. And let's go take a look. I did put a pack on my back. Wonderful. I think I want to head over here and take a look at setting up a tree farm over here. Again, this is where I'd like to set up a bit of a logging camp. So I think it makes sense that we get a tree farm started over in this direction. I also want to collect the resin that's over here because we are going to need, hey, flax. We are going to need quite a bit of resin, and currently I'm not really collecting it. I think this is as good as a place as any to start. And I want to place a sapling every 5 blocks or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do this, and I'll see you guys when I am all done. Okay, so this is all planted, and I did hear a wolf. And we do know that the wolf is somewhere over here, I believe. See if we can see it real quick. I cannot, that's fine. One thing I also want to do on this trip is grab resin, so I am just going to grab this resin tree here. And so we have some copper in that lake that I've yet to grab, so that's definitely a great easy source of copper for us that I'm just keeping in my back pocket. We'll have to grab it at some point. I'm not sure we're going to be able to make the entire trip today. There is bears. I should probably bring a bed with me. And some dirt blocks would be smart too. Let's grab you as well. Alright, let me grab a bed and a stack of dirt blocks just so we're able to build ourselves a shelter if we need to. And that we can spend the night. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to make our way up towards the cerite first. And then make our way back down to the copper. The copper mine seemed fairly rich, and there may be iron down there. The cerite is going to be harder for us to make the trip this winter, and I want to make the trip before the days get even shorter. You can see I've also brought some food along with me as well. So if I were in my bed, I would probably be in here if we're being honest. Or not. Interesting. Let's make a new bed then. Very quickly, just 1, 2, 3. And you go like this. There we go. We have a hay bed now. I have a stack of medium fertility soil. And I also want to grab these pickaxe heads. And we now have those. Great. So now we are going to begin making the trek up there. And you can see even with snow just how nice it is having this pathway here. So I'm going to take advantage of the path as long as I can as we head to the apiary, which is going to stay like this until the snow melts. So I'm going to collect the resin, make our way over here, and I'll see you guys probably at nightfall, and sooner if anything interesting happens. Oh no, we ran into a wolf. Well, this is not good. Hopefully I can lose it. That's what I get for blindly running through the forest here. Looks like we lost it. Oh no, there's another one. Okay, we gotta move. It's dark out and we're stuck in the forest. Well, it looks like we're not getting through this forest today, at least. We may end up having to camp out. Let's take a look. I like that you can hear the wolves and you get a chance before they just pounce on you. We are here. We can make our way through here around this way. Why don't we explore this option? We're making good time, so I'm mildly frustrated we ran into those wolves, as I think that's the route we normally take, is through there. But hopefully we can dash through this gap in the trees. And you can see that there's high rift activity, very high rift activity. So I don't want to stay out during the night unless I have to. And if I recall, we had some advanced planning, and I believe I actually built a shelter where I think we can spend the night. So let's confirm that. I believe I built a shelter here. So let's pin the artisan trader so I know where I'm going for sure. And I think we actually will make it here. I don't think I'll need to create a temporary shelter. This isn't the way that we normally go. I do know that there is another way that I take, which goes through one of the hills. But this is going to have to do for the meantime. And honestly, I think it's a nice route. It's a little less direct, but it's also less dangerous because I know there's a bear that I was trying to avoid as well. This area here, I suspect, is going to be snowy by morning, rating at the, judging by the rate of snowfall. If we look over here, yes, there is indeed a cube that I left behind. So we can use this as our home base. And I do think that when I say home base, I really do mean, and I didn't leave a door. I did leave a bed at least. We grab a tree. I have 2 sticks, but I need more ideally. We'll grab this tree here. And then, luckily, this cuts through relatively quickly. And then I just need 3 sticks, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, I have 3 now. I need at least 2 of those, but here's 2 sticks right here. Wonderful. Still very high rift activity. So I want to make this door pronto. Oh, exactly a stack of wood from that tree. Very nice. The axe goes here. I have a crude door now. Let's get a torch set up. And just take a look at, well, nothingness, but this is going to be our surrounding for the next few days, I think. We'll probably spend a little bit of time camped out here at the very least, heading into the mine. And now that we have a safe home base squared away, why don't we take a look at what we don't need? I don't need you, I don't need you. I can leave one of these crocs, I'll probably leave this one here. I want these other pickaxes, and I don't need you. But I can probably leave a couple of pickaxes behind, I don't think I need them right off. So I know it's very high rift activity, but I do want to head down our mine shaft and see if we can start the process. Oh, are you kidding me? You know what I forgot? I forgot a pro pick. I forgot a prospecting pickaxe. I also don't know where our shaft is. It's right here. And I apparently didn't proof the shaft. We're gonna have to go back in the morning for that. I didn't spawn proof down here either. What was I doing? Spawn proofed over here at least. Oh yeah, but without a pro pick, we're dead in the water on this expedition. Man, our temporal stability goes down fast. And it's not safe down here without spawn proofing. And certainly without a prospecting pet. Wow, that puts a real damper on our plans, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to run home and get one, I think. Yeah. Because I don't think by the time I think I could scavenge the resources up here to make one, I probably could have just run home and back. Man, that puts a real damper on our plans. Question is, do I wait till morning? Because it really wasn't a terrible trek. The only dangerous part was when I ran into those wolves, but I know that I can run along this shoreline here and make my way here. So why don't I do that? Let's mark this pear tree. And let's mark this resin, excuse me. Unmark the artisan trader. That will give me the route I need to take to go home. And then I think what I can do is I'll just grab you here. And I'll take this resin with me as well. Because I shouldn't need it. And, oh, okay, I was going to say it's very high rift activity, but it's become calm. I do want to take this torch with me. I should have brought a torch holder. That way we could have this place lit up. But unfortunately, I think we're going to have to make our way back. So I'm going to do that, and I will join you guys when it's time to actually stay up this way. I think there's something really calming about running through the darkness of a winter night and seeing the home slowly fade in from the distance. I think that's really nice. Ooh, definitely want that. Well, since we're here, I certainly think at the very least we can grab our prospecting pick. Can't believe we left without it. There it is. Our only copper tool that we have left. Well, except for this, but we're going to wear this one out. Ooh, I thought there was a drifter or something. And I do think we are going to sleep before we head out again. I think that's just smart to try to travel during the daytime. So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you guys back at our mine. Okay, we have finally made it back. Looks like the map isn't quite loading this area correctly. That's interesting. But we've made it back with our prospecting pick this time. So why don't we head our way down into this very dangerous cave that we did not spawn proof and just take a look at where we left things. Interesting how we can hear raining noises. I just want to see how much we left behind for cassiterite. So let's take a quick look at the node search here and see what it says. It should say trace amounts if it comes back with anything at all. Medium amounts. Oh. Well, look, we left some cassiterite behind right here. I wonder how much more is just lying around like that. Some medium chunks. Let's take another reading here, because obviously it pulled the two of those right there. Still medium amounts. Alright. Well, that's an 8-block radius it's pulling from. So let's just go up and take a reading here. Still medium amounts. So there's got to be more. What if I come over here and take a reading? Let's see. Yeah, see trace amounts over here, but medium amounts up there is interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to go look around for some more cassiterite. I'll probably look here, and I am going to dig down further as well. I will keep you guys posted on our progress. Oh, here's something I wasn't prepared for. A cave. Ooh. I really want to explore what's down here, but we are woefully unprepared. I don't think I even have any blocks on me. Oh man, okay. Well, let me go grab some dirt blocks. And I think we'll peek our head down here. I'm getting a large reading cassiterite over here, so we are making progress. But anyway, let me go grab some dirt blocks and work on my sanity a little bit, because you can see I'm down to 52% here. And I will join back up with you guys when it's time to run down into that cave. The temporal stability is still quite a bit low, and it really goes down fast, so I do want to wait for this to tick up before we head back down there. I did sleep through the night in hopes that that would fix our temporal stability, but it doesn't look like temporal stability quickens as time quickens when you sleep. So that's definitely a good something to keep in mind. So I'm going to hang out here in the fort for a little bit, and I will bring you guys back when it's time to look through that cave and look for our cassiterite. Okay, so here is this cave. And let's look at just poking our head down here. That was not where that needed to go. I don't hear any drifters. Would you look at that? There's our cassiterite. And quite a lot of it too, if I do say so. Let's just get some torches placed down here. Ooh, saltpeter. We haven't found any of that yet. I'm quiet because I'm absolutely petrified. Looks like this cave goes up. Yeah, we're not equipped, unfortunately. I think to go further. I know that may be mildly disappointing, but we're really not equipped for any sort of expedition like this. I do think at the very least we can grab the saltpeter. Oh, we found copper. Okay. Well, let me get this blocked off. Here. just so that we can kind of have some control over the potential of drifters coming in. I think that's blocked off. Good. Yeah, because we're going to want the cassiterite and the copper. That may save us a mining trip if we're able to get a small amount of copper. Now the saltpeter, I don't actually know what it's used for. I know it's not an incredibly rare find, but it's still a nice find. We really haven't done that much caving. We should probably do more of that. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's fertilizer or for making bombs, which would be nice to have with iron. And see our stability is dropping quickly down here. So we did find this cassiterite that we've been looking for. Quite a nice amount of it by the looks of it. It's poor cassiterite, which is fine. It's still better than nothing. So I'm going to start mining this out. It is something that's going to take me quite a while because I am going to have to make trips back up to the surface to replenish temporal stability. Unfortunately, our stability wears down pretty quickly over here. So I will spare you that, but just know that I am cassiterite, and when I'm done cassiterite mining, I am copper mining. So I'll bring you guys back to see what we got our hands on. Okay, so some drifters spawned in the cave while we were working, so I decided to skedaddle, but I do think I got all the copper, which is nice. So we're going to head up to the surface here, and we'll do a total count. But I do think that we did get enough copper where we're not going to be going to the surface. I mean, we're not going to be going to the other copper mine. I think we got enough copper. And we got a really nice amount of cassiterite too. So I'm going to do a quick count, and I will report back to you guys. Okay, so I have the count, and in terms of cassiterite, we got 695 units worth, and in terms of copper, we got 1,725 units worth. And to put that in perspective, I do think that is somewhat comparable, not entirely comparable, but somewhat comparable to what we have going on back home. Just gonna grab this here. Did I burn out a torch? Or it looks like I never placed a torch. Put this on our back here. I'm conflicted because I want to leave now, but I kind of want to wait it out till it's daytime. So I think I will end up doing that. So I'll be hanging out on the fort, but to put into the perspective the amount of cassiterite and copper that we got, I think it's roughly comparable to the amount of bronze we have sitting at home. So it should be enough to neatly double our supplies. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And therefore that should cover us for at least the rest of the winter in terms of supplies. So I'm going to consider this trip a success. I am also going to, you know what? Only low rift activity. Look at this. These are words spoken before disaster. But I do think I am going to make my way back because I am getting fairly comfortable with this trip. So, without any further ado, I will see you guys when we get back to the house. In what was probably not my brightest idea, we're still slowly making our way home. We've made it back to the pine forest, and it is getting increasingly dark, and also it is getting increasingly high in rift activity. So, as long as you keep moving, I think this is a good lesson opportunity here. So I'll just throw this out there. As long as you keep moving when there is rifts around, you're generally safe. The rifts and the drifters and so on often don't spawn fast enough or far enough ahead of you to cause any real challenge or headache. And the same can generally be said if you're caught in the middle of a temporal storm. You can just run and run and run, and as long as you're safe and aware of your surroundings, you should be able to outrun the storm without getting yourself into too much trouble. And so that's why I decided to go on this trek to begin with, as I felt confident that I could run through this area and run for the way back. You can see we're already back right about world spawn. And even though it's high rift activity, I'm not really having any significant challenges. And so I'm going to continue making my way back and just running, and I shouldn't run into any significant challenges with drifters. And if I do, then I'll just run away, because we are able to outrun them, even though we are quite a bit slower with all the snow. Anyways, I'm going to get back to running, and apparently taking some fall damage as well, and I will see you guys when we are back at base. Alright, and just like that, we are home, and let me tell you, that was a really stupid thing for me to do. Very stupid, in fact, because I did not know that terrain as well as I thought I did. And so we got ourselves into a little bit of trouble, ran into a couple rifts, jumped off a few cliffs, and tried to climb up a mountain we didn't need to climb. Anyway, I think that is going to conclude our episode for today. I know it was a little bit scattered. We did a little bit of everything. Some chores around the house, really a bunch of preparatory work, but this preparatory work serves a purpose, because I'd like to spend some time focusing on building. I think next episode we're going to focus on our house and the stuff immediately around our house. And once that tree farm is grown, I do want to build that building out there. So now that we have a lot of our essential resources covered, I think we'll be better able to do all of that. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as I've enjoyed making it. This has been Finko11, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.